Welcome, boys and girls. Costin here with a discussion about Deathmaster Snikch, the sneakiest of the Skaven. Unless, of course, we're counting Tretch Craventail, but then again, the Skaven broadcast service does not consider him a legendary lord, because he isn't really a legendary lord. He's not worthy of the title. That he exists within the confines of a game as such is not really a relevant aspect to talk about. So what makes Snikch such a great legendary lord is one of the things he actually has the best starting province of the Skaven in the game, because he has 4 regions over here in the Forest of the Moon, which also grants him a great deal of flexibility in terms of how he approaches his campaign. And funnily enough, you can actually go through the entire early game as him, just auto-resolving your way to victory. And then spending all that sweet money, getting all kinds of really good stuff over here if you want to. To be certain, getting access to all of this can be expensive, but at the same time, when we're thinking about Snikch, his entire focus is on sneaking around enemies, laying a trap for them, and winning against said enemies once he has laid the trap for them. That you have the nice benefit of taking over your initial starting province and then getting a rebellion immediately after, as well as being able to auto-resolve your way through the early game. Well, that's just a really solid benefit to his campaign as well. I'm just going through the heroes over here, leveling them up. There's going to be a lot of heroes to level up in a Snikch campaign, because all of these elements they gain access to, the benefit that they give you is not just that they're going to boost your economy, especially once you get arcane generators up and running. So you're going to start generating a good amount of money, you're going to generate a lot of food very quickly as well, and then you're going to have more heroes than all the other Skaven legendary lords combined, at least in the early game. And that is one of the principal benefits to deal with in a campaign as Snikch. It's the flow of a campaign that works so brilliantly well. Because for instance, right there, I got a rebellion, it's Savage Orcs. Savage Orcs end up having a worse auto-resolve result than even Skaven do, because we all know that the Skaven auto-resolve is not necessarily the best in the world. To be sure, some people may not necessarily care about the campaign playing auto-resolve the game, but it's worth pointing out that the sheer level of capability over here is simply absurd. Like, just look at it. Tier 4 element, turn 5, an entire province, and I don't have even any kind of natural enemies to deal with in this campaign. On top of that, because Snikch is so good at ambushing, and he is really good at ambushing, maybe not as good as Tretch believes he is, but he's still certainly very solid at ambushing in a campaign. As a result of that, he ends up dominating any kind of opponents that might stand up in his way. Because any army that you might deal with, and look at this, special skill line unlocked already, turn 5, that's just, you know, brilliant, so to speak. Free heroes, all the same, more of them coming along the way. You get hero stacks, you get all kinds of benefits, training as well. Like, this is the quintessential Skaven campaign experience in so many different ways, and it's just really the start of what makes this experience good. And on top of that, I think that you have a bunch of choices. The reality of the situation is you're not struggling with regards to choice. The path is actually direct. Take your initial province, leave the capital for last, then take the Imperial Road province, so take out Cathay's capital, take out the Celestial Loyalists, and then go deal with Miao Ying. And then Xiaoming later on and Gelt. That's where things might become a bit complicated, but the factions you encounter along the way will treat you decently well at the very least. Like, there's very few things over here in this campaign that can stand up to Snikch, which is not something you can say about Tretch Craventail really in a campaign, when you think about it. And you do also have these contracts. Now, the downside, and there are absolutely going to be downsides in this campaign, is that you might have to send Snikch on certain missions, but that can really wait. I mean, also getting Hero and Lord Recruit rank plus free faction-wide gives him a fairly solid benefit to work with within the confines of his campaign. Well, so just brilliantly designed. The Skaven broadcast service fully approves of Creative Assembly's handling of this specific campaign. Undeniably so. There are many things that one may disapprove of with Creative Assembly, but this is the one campaign where one can really say they had a plan, they had an idea, and they nailed it. In fact, I would argue that minus any kind of deficiencies that Cafe itself has as a race, they did a phenomenal job with regards to how they were looking to design Cafe as a race. And that's not something you can say about many things that Creative Assembly has done with regards to many different aspects of a race. But just having this amount of heroes this quickly, having an army that excels in skirmishing and can be pretty solid in sieges. Not that you'll necessarily fight a lot of those sieges, really, because by being able to use stock stance and being so successful in ambushing, you are able to overcome any kind of resistance the AI is able to throw your way. Like, take into consideration this battle. I'm in forced march stance. Okay, you might think, oh, this is not going to work. It is going to work, and in a couple of turns, we will have control over the entire Imperial Road province. Now, when we consider the territory he gains after having defeated the Celestial Loyalists right there, you might think, okay, do I hold on to this province or do I give it to Lokir? And you can definitely give it to Lokir, gain a lot of money, secure an alliance with him at the same time, and that is where things do start really going in your favor in a Snikch campaign. I mean, you might not want to give some people this amount of territory. You may feel that it is not required, but the reason you may want to do so is Dark Elves have a lot of money, a significant level of money in a campaign, and it is with that money, the Jade, the people in the Riverlands, the Jade Custodians, have declared war on me. It is with that level of power of selling stuff to Lokir that you can really start getting your campaign going in a way many people may not necessarily be aware of. I mean, it is starting to get ridiculous in terms of just how much money I have. But that's really where the brilliance of Snikch really comes in, because you will have money, you will have powerful armies, you will have territory. You might have to defend it, but you're well positioned to react and be proactive about the things that you're dealing with. And that is what makes this campaign so good, so solid, so great at the various things we are dealing with. Furthermore, the fact that you don't have to deal with loyalty is in itself a fairly substantial benefit in this campaign, because loyalty can grant you benefits, but it has one annoying quirk, in that when you confederate another Skaven faction, chances of half your armies rebelling is going to hurt you. And yes, there are benefits to loyalty, undeniably so, but at the same time, those kind of benefits that do impact a campaign, really, those kind of upsides do not make up for a lot of the downsides. And here's the thing about Snikch. When you are playing a campaign as him, right, you have this capability of getting vision with different Skaven factions around the campaign map. And it is with that vision that we can achieve something that no other Skaven Legendary Lord can dream of. We can get confederation across the world with any of the Skaven factions. Sometimes it might be tricky. Other times it might not work. It depends on campaign randomization. But this is the campaign closest to achieving guaranteed confederation playing as the Skaven, especially if we use Graciers who have a skill line that improves Skaven relationships. Furthermore, we also have the 13th scheme, which improves diplomatic relations. And on top of that, you also have the revitalizing scheme exclusive to Snikch that restores all your units in your armies to full HP. So imagine fighting a battle, taking a significant amount of casualties, and then just restore your army to full. That is not exactly one of the more fun things to deal with in a campaign. Top of that, he gets concealment bombs, melee attack for embedded heroes, so he really is the hero lord for the Skaven. All those kind of ambush success chance, defense chance for the Lord's army, enemy leadership being reduced, leadership being increased, melee attack during ambushes, campaign mode range, charge bonus, speed for infantry, upkeep for the Lord's army. All of these kind of things is what Snikch does and what he delivers in a campaign. And that is just really a great thing to have and to deal with during the course of a campaign. It's also just really fun. I'm not gonna lie, like using this army is a huge level of fun to play with during the course of a campaign. And this is why I would recommend the Shadow and the Blade DLC. Out of all the DLCs in Warhammer 3, we of course have Thrones of Decay, we of course have many others. But if you're looking to have just a really fun and energetic campaign that kind of breaks the rules in a lot of ways, if we're being honest about it, then I would strongly recommend playing Snikch. That is all I had to say. Costin, signing out.